Hey, dude.
How's it? Oh, we're live. How are you?
We are. Good. Today's been a really good day.
Why?
Lots of stuff. Lots of good stuff. I woke up this morning and Ariana Huffington tweeted my my post about Momofuku Ando.
Uh-huh.
So that was just generating a ton of traffic and interest. So that was really cool to wake up to. Kids. I don't know. She's got like 2 point something million followers or something. And then the day just kept going good. It was got another blog post out there that had taken me a while to write. It was nice to kind of put just publish it finally. And then even today, dude, we're almost at 1,300 YouTube subscribers. We're missing one. We just need one more. And today is our best day ever for traffic to our podcast. Like the SoundCloud stats are going up, and today's the best day we've ever had so far.
I wonder if something happened around that, or just like a little bit of a tipping point there.
Yeah, I don't know.
Good.
Yeah, I think
I like your post today. I love how you weave stories together. I think that's you have a really unique approach to that. So it was cool to read that.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thanks. I have a hard time I don't. Yeah, this is a bigger topic, but it's like sometimes like I do bump into a lot of people who don't like to read, and so like my posts are long. And I try and condense these things. I edit the crap out of them. And it's funny though, because like some of the people I aspire to write things similar to this that are like twice as long. And so it's weird. It's weird trying to find an audience who really appreciates this kind of thing sometimes. And sometimes they hit, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, you got to write it for yourself at the end of the day. You know, if you'd like to write this way, then just write this way, and you'll find your audience, right?
Yeah, totally.
So yeah, we had a couple quick topics because I know you've got something to do. Hang on, that's my wife. Let me just tell her I'm okay. She's out of town, so cool. Something I thought was just kind of a neat little thing to talk about, which is about what happens when you give people a little bit of personal space. And I don't mean that like in a physical way. So we in Basecamp 3, we have a title field for each individual person. You can put a title, and we hadn't really exposed the field anywhere. We exposed the field, but we hadn't exposed the data anywhere. So you could add a title, but it didn't really show up anywhere unless you were like in this really obscure place. And so a few days ago, I added the title field to the to the comment thread. So after your name, it would say your title. And it was very interesting what happened, which was that people are using that field to inject personality rather than their title. So very few people are actually entering their title. People are saying things like, let me actually go pull something up. Let's see here. I'm just going to grab something really quick. So people are saying things like respectable citizen is their title. Another person just calling himself gentleman. Someone else is calling himself Android. He works on the Android team, so everyone gives him shit about that sometimes. And someone else is just saying employee, and someone else is saying, let's see, I'm trying to get a few other ones. But what's interesting is that people are changing their titles often. So someone's destroyer of worlds and stuff. People are changing their titles often. And it's not just this, not just like this thing you fill out once. Some people are, but other people are like every day they're changing their title to represent something else. And it's just sort of an interesting revelation because it was this little innocuous feature, this little tiny thing we did, job title, whatever. We exposed it, and now that it's exposed, people see it, of course, and now that people see it, they're playing with it. And it just reminds me about the power of customization and like this drive everybody has to personalize things, even the slightest bit. Any little room you give them to personalize, they take advantage of it, and I mean that in all the best ways. So it's like one of these little things where you see, even just in a couple words, people really kind of inject themselves into it. And so it makes me actually think about reprioritizing some future features that we're working on. So like we had some more plans for some different kinds of customization to Basecamp, simply colors and some other stuff that was something we'd like to get to eventually. And I'm sort of feeling like maybe we should get to it much sooner than later because of witnessing how powerful it is just to give people a little bit of themselves, or let them sort of expand themselves or express themselves a bit more.
Yeah, totally. I mean, it's been the same reaction, the same kind of experience, like, especially with draft. Like that was, again, like a thing where I'm very opinionated. I want to save people a lot of steps. I hate settings. Like it sucks not making a choice and punting on everything and letting people choose everything. So I'm very much a person who's like, man, like I'd rather it not be a setting. Let's just make really good stuff that people just like to use. And if they don't like it, they can use something else. But I don't know what it was. Like it was like I had just like launched draft, and like there's so many, like you're saying with Basecamp, like there were so many things I wanted to do still, so many other features, but for some reason it just kept gnawing at me, and like the requests kept gnawing at me, and it was just like, you know what, I'm gonna let people change the stuff they want to change. Like, and it was pretty basic. It didn't take a ton of work, but it was like I let people change the background color, the font, and so you could use any system font that was on your computer, and the size, maybe a couple other things I forget now, but it was like they went nuts over it. Like it was like I think it was one of the things that like really cemented my ability to like keep people's attention. Even Lynette, who helped me kind of develop draft and kind of like was my feedback, she customized it. I was surprised. It was just like, what do you mean you don't like the original things I picked? But she customized it. And so I agree. Like there's something really magical about letting people kind of make it their own.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because like it seems like some revelation, but of course it's not at all. Like you look at everybody's phone, and every phone looks different. You look at people's house, every house looks different. You know, back when you were in college and maybe you stayed in a dorm room, like you put stuff on your walls that was personal to you or whatever. You look at people's desks at work and they have pictures or things that are personal to them. Whatever, right? Everything, everyone wants to put their own little touch on everything. And so it's like, it shouldn't be a surprise that that's the same thing in software. It's just one of those things where you feel like there's more important things. That's the thing. It's like, you feel like there's more important things, but actually the question is there actually anything more important than having people feel a sense of ownership over the thing that they're working, that they're in,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Especially the amount of time they spend in products like Basecamp and the amount of time you can spend writing something. I mean, I think maybe there's some sort of even interesting graph where you could draw like the more time you spend in this, the more important it is to probably give them customization options like that.
Totally. So anyway, just a little revelation I wanted to share because it was a small thing that turned into a really interesting insight, and it's kind of a good example, I think, of patterns emerging, and then like seeing a pattern emerge and ask yourself, what's behind that? Because there's something deeper than just simply people changing their titles often. There's something else going on there, and it's good to spot that and see if you can extend that and bring that pattern or extend that pattern to more places.
Yeah, it's tough though. Like I'm having trouble with this now. I mean, this is a constant challenge, and there's stuff going on even presently where this is bugging me, where it's like this balance, and it's also this like, where do you cross the line from like going from like honoring this, like people want to customize the thing versus like, let's put everything into a setting. Like, we on the show before, we've talked about these email threads, like, and right now we do an email thread that's very similar to Google's kind of conversation view. We try and like, hide message. If there's an email thread, you see a message and then you see a reply, which has all the junk from the original message, but we try to be smart and hide it. Well, some people don't want the email thread. They want it, right now we do chronological, but some people want it reverse chronological. And it's like, should I turn this into a setting? And then you go to Gmail and just like, holy crap, Gmail is like all settings, like everything is customizable. And it's like, I don't know. It's weird. It feels like, sometimes it feels like, man, I'm going to just give up. There's going to be a setting on everything.
Yeah, I think part of it is thinking about the split between, like, what does customization mean? The customization I was referring to is not necessarily like functional. It's more emotional.
Yeah.
Like setting your title and changing that often and making it easy to change because people seem to like to change it. So make it easier. Things like colors. There's something else I've thought about, which is typically color schemes and products are account wide. So like you want to change the color scheme in Basecamp Classic. It's like, okay, you make it red or green or whatever you make it, and that's account wide. But colors are very personal things. Like account wide is not really that's not really a customization. It's a declaration. But really, colors should be personal. So when we're going to roll out colors in Basecamp 3, like I want people to be able to set their own. It doesn't matter what the account, like by default, whatever the account's set at, that can be your colors, but you can override those and add your own colors and change your own stuff, because your own space is your own space. Just like your phone looks different than mine, even though we're not, but like let's say we're on the same account or something, like doesn't mean everyone gets the same wallpaper. So anyway, little things like that I think that's different level from, in my opinion, from like functional adjustments based on personal preferences around functionality.
Yeah. I agree.
It might be part of the same. It might be like the same thing. Just
starts to blend in though, because like I'm dealing even with like emotions right now about like font sizes. You know, like I like it. You know, I need to see. And you're right, it's like functionality, but like I feel like there's emotion that starts happening. Like, oh my god, I need to see more on the screen. This font size is too large. Like, it's crazy. It's not crazy. I get it, but there's a lot of stuff going on when you start talking about some of the emotions involved with like picking some of the functionality that people want.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true. It's very, very true. And so anyway, I want to get into deeper into that stuff. I think it has a big impact on people's just general happiness in the product and stuff. So I think anyway, these are good topics to go into more in detail later. But
yeah, and it's good insight too. Like we see it too. Like Highrise has this also. You know, an account owner can pick a color, and it's actually when we first started fooling with that feature coming in, it was a little surprising that it was just like, oh, why do I get to declare that the header's black? You know, right. Ren wanted green, I think, and it's just like, why can't she have it?
Right.
Yeah, so that's something that would be a very positive change and something cool to explore.
Cool. Well, I know you got to get going, so I'm glad we got this show.
Yes.
All right.
Everybody, thank you so much for watching. This was like I think we said it was like the most watched day or listened day of our show so far, and so we traffic keeps growing, subscriber growth keeps growing. So yeah, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we will keep doing this. This has been a lot of fun.
Thanks. See you, Nate. Have a good night.
You too. Have a great night.
Thanks.